December 2nd, 2024. New York University. Gary Marcus is verified outdated by Orwellian GENAI. Gary Marcus, can you read Edoclad? Generative AI. Social credit system scores and rankings. Manual and supervised. AI. Now, when I run these words together, I'm creating a different type of code so that visual, object-oriented programming will be able to pick up the letters and stuff so that it brings up the rankings in other areas. Brilliant. Brilliant. This is what Gary Marcus doesn't understand. I've indexed this guy for quite a while. And I've sent him emails telling him about my claims. That's how he comes up with Orwellian, and him and his buddy, we emailed him too. And see, these guys think they're, because they have PhDs and because they're in New York University, that they're untouchable. That New York University needs them. They need them like they need a hole in their metaverse. Because this guy, from Typhoid Mary to boycotting Gen AI, that right there was the biggest mistake he did. Because see, his fingerprint, which are now his voice prints, are all over it. And so what happens is when he talks, generative supervised AI says, wait a minute, he's never done this before. There's other people that are doing what he claims to do that are coming up on other social platforms that are saying, hey, this guy is not an AI expert. But see, they can only go so far as to use other people's social channels that are manipulated, the algorithms. And right now, the main purpose for generative AI is to make sure that our colleges are doing the right thing. All they got to do is the right thing. They do the wrong thing, dark web. Anybody that graduates with them, dark web. These are the new things that you all don't know what's coming in 20 years. I'm showing you your next 20 years. And so with Gary Marcus, if we were in one of those big old auditoriums where we had some monitors up there where we had access to the internet, I guarantee you that I would twist him in a debate. When he'd talk, everything would be finally have the authority because I have his voice in the background of my digital apparatuses. Smart devices. And AI has been around since 1955. So when I think about things that Gary Marcus does, who has an opportunity to come out of the closet and talk about other people instead of his bullshit content. He was good for what he did. But just because he did these things and he sold at the Uber doesn't make him who he says he is. You know what I mean? So, it's all written in code right there. All of our words that we use is now indexed. And it's pattern matched to our actions in regards to our voice communication, text communication, email communication, far beyond this guy's pay grade. And when the time comes, when China releases its yearly annual indexing of the whole entire world. Why? Because they can. Why? Because they have created the information so that they don't even have to fire a gun. They don't have to fire a missile. They don't have to unleash a plane. None of our adversaries do. They're going after our grids. And when the more and more people that you have, like Gary Marcus and other identifiers that are going to come out of the closet when Trump appoints his AI czar, everything that they say is now pattern matched to what they can actually do. Not what they say. Oh, Trump says, oh, this guy's the guy or this is the girl, blah, blah, blah. And see, I've been tied to the Trump conversation for a very long time. Way before he even started thinking about being a president. I wrote a book Um, a book for the world for the 21st century, published in 1998. He's on page 69. If you understand the 1369 algorithms, see, but I have people telling me what my stuff means to them. And I can't help it. I can tell you what it means to me and what I wrote about, and you can linguistic twist. No, this is what he really means. That kind of dumbass thinking will not build rockets, will not build spaceships or any type of trips to Mars or any type of bridges or anything that we need, like dams. But you haven't developed those in a very long time. We're so focused on little short things that, oh, I don't want to pay any money for gas. Well, what happens when you run out of water? All that oil ain't going to do you. So, when you understand this stuff, that our voices now are supervised by Gen AI. And this is where, when Gary Marcus says we need to boycott Gen AI, fuck. There's only like 1% of the world that even knows what we're talking about. And there's only 0.001% that can even do what we can do on Google, and we got taught by Google Learning. Okay, so you can say all you want, but, you know, you can't keep bagging on Google when all the other browsers are all manipulating their algorithms. So Google can't afford to go and fight all the battles. So they just let them go, and they just spin it, keep going, and they got more money than these people. But the problem is what happens when these people do this, they get indexed. And the more and more Google has to fight this, and Google has rogue employees manipulating content in the majority of platforms they own. You have to have that in order to be better, to close those doors. So, but it's such a big organization like the government, it steers from the back and not the front. We steer from the front, and that's why you see this right here on Gary Marcus. When you think about my education, just Google Learning, no high school diploma, that's how you know I'm supposed to be here. Making Oz in the industry that these people all talk about being part of, and they're outdated. Outdated as fuck. And our kids are learning this stuff. No wonder why we're in the fucking back lines of the honor rolls of the world, because that's what it's going to come down to. What is the best fucking college in the world? What is the best hospital? What is the best? It's going to be ranked by country, by their actions, by their GPS, by their cell phone tower pings. Like it'll go down to where the doctors, their privacy, as far as like if they're cheating on their girlfriends or their wives or whatever it is they're doing, manipulating, whatever. HR departments and other private detectives, because we've been teaching people this for 18 fucking years, folks. And we have a thing where you just don't talk about it. Just go do it. Google allows it. YouTube allows it. Just follow those two right there. But you got to do Google Cloud. I don't even have enough team members to do the things that I'm supposed to do. But because I keep writing on the edge of things that make sense, keeps me in the game. So that when those that realize when they have to diverse their funds into winning platforms that are really looking into the future, not just talking about a bunch of people. You can talk about all you want, but what happens is talk stops. When you don't have no actions and you're just a bunch of people getting together to talk about bullshit and it's bullshit because they are leaving out the people that were talking about it before them. And so they're trying to take that valor away from the people the cities that are working and doing all this stuff. Why? Because they can. There's no law against it. But see, on AI, if you use the law correctly in the digitized world, and they start using content, what happens is their authority will trickle out sooner or later. And that's what's happening with Gary Marcus. And you see all these things starting to come up. Because people that are in the know are questioning it. And this ain't false accusations. This isn't bullshit or made up or fake bias. AI content. This is 100% verified Gen AI content. And you can't manipulate this. You can't boycott it. I mean, when he said that, we all about fell out. I was like, really? That dumb said that? And, we don't like to call names. I call myself dumbass. The things I call other people, I wouldn't hesitate calling myself. Okay? So, because you got to stay humble. You do dumbass things, dumbass moves, you get dumbass punishments. And now we're gonna go to the next level where people now are gonna be held accountable for saying things that aren't true, for trying to destroy somebody's life when it's not true, from a kid to an old man to an old lady. It doesn't matter. And this is what the future holds for younger people that look at this video or look at they don't even have to press on it. Everything's right in front of you. Inverted pyramids that we've turned into inverted blocks of content that signal other content to migrate in other areas. Brilliant. For the betterment of mankind, for the betterment of our children, for the betterment of education, for the betterment of academia, for the betterment of not allowing a cat like Gary Marcus to come out and bloviate bullshit about Gen AI, boycotting it. We'd all have to put tape on our fucking mouths and wrap our fingers so we couldn't use our keyboards. These are the things that future HR departments are going to be able to use in highly advanced algorithms that'll bring up content that they have used that person's voice in a back file to look for all the other matching content that we have put down in object-oriented programming types of content that will be piggybacked in the large language models that are built for not just language. So we understand language, it's not just English, China. It's images, MP3, MP4. Did you know that in 2017, a sheriff department in the United States couldn't get this guy who was accused of killing his wife? And they heard about cloud extraction, what we do. There's other people that do it, folks. Believe me. Way better than me. Those are the people I want to talk to, and I know who they are. But you can't hit them until you got some fucking money behind you. I got content behind me, which is money. Content is king, folks. Believe it. Long form, title indexing. That's what I've been doing for 18 years. And anybody can do it. It just depends when you planted your digital tree, when you planted your mission statement. Have you diverted or, changed the way you do things? And see, everybody changes when they read sources of other people that they're not giving credit to. And Gen AI says, wait a minute, supervised. This guy Gary Marcus is talking about Gen AI being Orwellian. That's kind of a negative thing. Because see, Gen AI is actually there to save every fucking one of us from ourselves. And save our young children with the minds that are going to be able to make it to my age. I'm an old fucker. I never thought I'd get through here. I got through here my life this long because I learned. And I watched all my friends who died, who got shot or in prison that I couldn't save. I try to save everybody. I spend more time on trying to save somebody than trying to save myself. And I'm just saving myself from the people I know. People I thought loved me. People I thought were my friends. And when money and other shit comes involved, you find out your friends. I'm gonna have his friends with him for 20 fucking years. Then you find out the guy's a fucking racist. You already knew it, but it's been slide off as humor. But when he talks about other people, you start seeing it. So I know why they have the Republicans being way up there on the racism. But Um, the Democrats hold that trophy, and they learn to use it against people that are dumbwitted, simpletons, all holding signs. Kamala's the one. They had no idea that we're close to war, and I don't know if Trump's going to be able to pull out. They'll blame it on him because there was no wars during, you know what I mean. But there's some serious moves coming out because we need all these people to come out of the closet. Like right now, CNN, MSNBC, all these fucking hosts, where they get all their sources, a good subpoena and a good cloud extractor, you can pull out every piece of information that person's ever thrown away since 2017. I'll be safe. 2017. I was hired back in 2007 to do certain investigations in regards to the city and county of Denver. And I did it for free. I didn't get paid. I could have got paid. But if I got paid, then I'd be biased because I'm getting paid. I did it for free. I've been doing it for 18 years. Mike Johnston, our mayor, he's a bloviated troll biatch. It's fucking written. Look it up. Mike Johnston, troll biatch. Wouldn't it be funny if something really came up like that? So anyways, when you think about our voices and that everything now pattern match, not just us, but all of our adversaries, they can do what they can to manipulate things, but when you have the 1369 algorithm, it's the 369 mathematical equation that Elon Musk and all his scientists and all those people and Tesla, okay? But when you think of metaverse, the 369 algorithm has to have a starting point, and that's 1. 0 is not a starting point. 1 is the starting point, because that is the first of that whole list. Number 1, not number 0. There is no number 0. It does not compute. Another thing, go look at the movie Star Trek 1964. I was 4 years old. But I didn't see it until I was like 7 or 8. That's when but it was made in 64. I was 4 years old. There's no way my parents would have let me watch Star Trek. I wasn't old enough to watch that. Even, that's my parents, Republicans. I wasn't allowed to watch that. See, my uncle, Bruce Anthony, Dr. Bruce Anthony, the Anthonys from Avalon, Catalina, that had the tour bus. Their families took care of the Wrigley's Bird Sanctuary. The people that I know, amazing. My parents knew, amazing. But I was never allowed to come out of my room to meet these people. Because I would go out and tell the whole neighborhood that John fucking McCain was swimming in our fucking swimming pool. True story, folks. These are true stories that I was never allowed to say anything because that's what my dad told me. My dad worked on top secret stuff. I know things, but I can't say things. I won't do it. Just to protect the United States government, I will not do it. I know more things than the FBI fucking knows. And the FBI, that Patel guy, he's going to kick ass. He's going to clean shit up. He's the one that found all this shit. And then Democrats and other Republicans are already, oh, Patel, that's part of the racism, folks. Okay, when you understand how racism on digital looks like, because AI can't see color. AI can't see gender. And so the more and more these people talk about this, the further they go into the gender box in the dark web. And they all just keep talking about it, and they'll all raise money from the same people. And yet when you look at them, they don't do shit. In fact, they hurt a community's betterment society. Like, what can we do to betterify our communities? Like in Denver, we had Mayor Spear started City Beautiful. And now we're City of Decay. And Mike Johnston's telling people, I'll go to jail. And telling residents and Denver police is going to go and fight federal police. They have a sworn oath that they have to obey federal. And so then they came out and started talking about this is like a Gary Marcus thing. All these guys, they're all going to get indexed one day, and it's going to happen fast. CNN, I've been telling these people with all these stocks what's coming. I'm biased. I don't have stock. I have nothing to gain with this stuff. Nothing. Except the bragging rights to telling them when all those executives aren't doing what they're doing and they can't get jobs. And when they start Google searching jobs, my content will start migrating to them, to where they can read what's going on, just like all the other HR departments. Because that's just the way things are. You know what I mean? So, Gen AI is powerful. It's going to protect everybody, especially children and the elderly and the dumb-witted, the simpletons that need to be taught a different way. And the way that is taught is by not allowing them to view content that is detrimental to their pursuit of happiness. No matter what party you're on, our pursuit of happiness, being able to afford to live and eat our food. And what scares me is in the Bible, I remember reading somewhere in there, I pretend to be dumb, but about bread being $5 a loaf. Things being so expensive. And that's the new highs or our new lows. And there's nothing I don't think Donald Trump can really do about it unless he is going to corner the egg market, the pig market, the beef market. But when you think about McDonald's and the price to feed 4 people, ridiculous, man. And the fact that you're feeding your kids some really bad fucking food that tastes really fucking good. And I can tell you because I was programmed on that McDonald's commercials and Wendy's commercials and being a painter and moving fast. That's all I ate. And now I got to take these fucking pills for the rest of my life to stay alive. If I stop taking them, I will die. What the fuck is that, folks? This is what America turned me into. And everybody else. And so when Gary Marcus talks about out of New York University that he's the fucking AI guy, let's debate, Gary. I'll be gentle. And I'll make sure I have a corner just for you with a nice little pillow. So when I kick your ass in front of everybody, you can go off into your corner, suck your thumb, and cry, woe is me.